Right. Okay. Hey y'all. How y'all doing on this good Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. Hey y'all. Happy Wednesday. All right. Almost towards the weekend. So let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Frozen. And today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, 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 collective. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Hola, hola, hola. ¿Cómo está? Okay. ¿Cómo allez-vous? All that great things. Thank you so much for joining me daily on my daily lives. It is truly appreciated. I am so grateful for my soul tribe. I'm so very grateful for the support that you give to me, whether it's through word of mouth, sharing, just being here, your commentary as well. It is truly appreciated. The gifts, the tips, all those great things. Thank you so much. Before we get into this read, don't forget to grab this commentary. Don't forget to get this book, Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It's readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. Okay. Also, I have other publications on there as well too. I do have some adult coloring books as well. If you're a person that likes to color, I also have that as well on my Amazon publishing website. So definitely check me out. Again, thank you so much for your immense support. It is truly appreciated. If you would like to join us in the Wisdom Beyond Wounds group, that group is on Facebook. Okay, that's more of a self-paced group where I generate questions or create questions surrounding shadows. So if you are a person that wants to dive deeper surrounding who you are, or who you can discover to become, that group will be really excellent for you, because we do dive deep surrounding learning more discoveries surrounding who you are. And also, if you are interested in the workshop is going to start on March 8th to March 29th. It is a 4-week intensive, but more so one-on-one, smaller setting workshop where we dive even further and deeper surrounding the topics in this book here. Okay, so in order for you to get into the workshop, you need access to this book as well too. All right, thank you so much for your immense support. Let's get into this read. The channel message here is you've mastered the manipulator. Yeah, you've mastered the manipulator, and the manipulator does not like this, because the manipulator thought that they were very masterful in their craft of lying. And yeah, some people, or most people who do tend to utilize lies as a form of a way of living here, they'll do everything possible to ensure that they are able to successfully master that craft. But you always got to keep in mind as well too that that is the only craft that they have mastered. So when it comes to a narcissistic person, they tend to only have one thing that they can do in and out, and they're going to take their time to develop that skill set over time and over the years, because they think that this is something that is ironclad, like sealed, that no one would ever figure it out, or no one can beat them, or basically use their own tools against them. So they don't really think as far. And again, this is just my own personal point of view. I don't think they think as far as they think that they do, specifically and especially surrounding like psychological abuse and mental abuse. They do one thing the same way, or they may try to spin it in just a slightly different way, but it still ends up, or the outcome still ends the same. Okay. So again, channel message here is you've mastered the manipulator. So when a narcissistic person feels like you've outgrown their tactics, the real wound isn't that you've won. The real wound is that their usual psychological shortcuts no longer move you or affect you. Okay? So their influence dependent on you reacting, doubting yourself, chasing approval, explaining yourself, or trying to fix the relationship or the connection at hand. But once you stop supplying those reactions, their entire operating system started to glitch. To them, this doesn't feel like you became stronger. It's more so it feels like they lost access to the control panel. So yes, they have made a comparison surrounding the plug. So you are the plug, right? Or not the plug, I'm sorry. You are the outlet, right? And you are the source of energy. And they're trying to utilize their plug or their extension of themselves to connect to you, to siphon from you. So because they have lost complete access to the control panel, which is you, they can't control you. Because if you look at it that way, yes, they were the plug or they were the extension. They were trying to plug their extension into the source of you. And they felt that by them being connected to you, it was going to give them a sense, or more so false reality of control, or their perception as to how they perceive you. So they thought that if they connected to you, that it automatically equates to them being able to successfully control you. And it didn't work that way, because yet again, even though you are the main source for them at that point in time, you still have other ways or other options to where you can completely shut down the actual control panel 100%. And that's what you guys did here. So their tactics stop producing emotional movement. They're used to pressing certain buttons and watching people spiral, defend, and apologize or chase. When nothing happens, they feel very disoriented, like speaking into a microphone that suddenly isn't connected to anything. So again, if there's no connection to you energetically, if there's no connection to you emotionally, physically, financially, etc., it's like hey, 1 2 checker, breaker 1 2. Is this thing on? All right, so next one here is they feel stripped of their psychological advantage. So they depend on reading others while remaining unreadable themselves, which is the most contradicting thing ever. Let's break this down, of course. They feel stripped of their psychological advantage. Good morning. They depend on reading others while remaining unreadable themselves. But that's the thing. They're very readable. Remember, life's journey is very subtle, okay? And it's a reason for that, because the way that we are in regards to who we are, what makes us us, if we were always slammed with different types of elements of surprises and we're not ready for it, it can potentially cause either two things: a really adverse reaction to that thing that we are shocked or surprised by, or you'll be able to take the element of surprise. Most individuals are not able to successfully take on the element of surprise because of whatever the reason or stipulations are. I'll be here all day explaining that. But with that being said here, they thought they would have remained unreadable by you. So that's what I was saying, the subtleties. If you're able to see the subtleties in life, the subtleties help you to bring forth or see messages or signs before the actual thing takes place. So there's warning before destruction, or there's warning before the element of surprise. They were the element of surprise, but there also were warnings to their element of surprise. So even though, despite them thinking, because they were playing a mind game or a manipulative mental game with you. They thought that they could successfully stay underneath the radar and you would never be able to discover the subtleties that they were given to you. So again, life is very subtle, yes, but there are signs and there are warnings that are given to us every day on a day to day, but sometimes we're not able to grasp, or we're not able to either understand, or sometimes we just miss those signs because life, you know, you may have a job, you know, you have other, we'll say, distractions that distract you from actually paying attention to the signs that are coming to you. So again, they depend on reading others while remaining unreadable themselves. They're not unreadable at all. To me, they're very readable. But yet again, because they're playing a silent game, they thought their silence of their game was going to be golden to not only themselves, but to you as well. And it didn't work out that way. So when you see the pattern, because remember, patterns are also subtle as well too. Let's say, for instance, you're walking outside and it just rained yesterday or so, and the day before everything was cool, the road was completely dry. But the next day after it rained, now you're walking outside, now you're seeing actual footprints. But before, you weren't able to see those patterns or those footprints because before the elements had shifted, meaning there wasn't any rain, there wasn't any precipitation for you to see those tracks. But now that the rain has actually progressed and precipitated amongst this area that you're walking in, now you're able to see a differentiation between the dry, we'll say the dry foundation of things versus a wet foundation. So this is what's happening here. Before, you weren't able to see anything what was happening because, yet again, whatever the reasons were, you were busy, you were minding your business, you were unaware, etc., etc. But something shifted or something happened to where you were able to see it exactly how. So again, you're walking outside. Yes, it was completely dry. You don't see any footprints. But the next day you go outside after it rained, now you're seeing many different types of footprints, dog paws, cat paws, animal paws. And I'm like, wow, I never knew that this, you know what I mean? So now you're seeing those subtleties, or more so you're seeing the signs of the subtleties that were given to you so you can see things in a bigger way or in a bigger picture. So when you see the pattern and stay steady, they lose their hidden vantage point. So let's say that you didn't know you move into an area and you never knew bears lived there. But yet again, you wouldn't know because there were no signs at the time or no subtleties of the sign to pre-warn you or to make you aware that the actual bear actually lives there. But something again shifted in a way or took place in a way to where you understand now, or now you see footprints like, shit, let me, you know what I mean? Now you're going to be more aware of your surroundings. So that feels like someone pulled the curtain back on their whole strategy. So because they lost their hidden vantage point, they feel like you pulled back the curtain on their whole strategy. You completely destroyed their whole strategy. Their identity takes a hit. Many of them quietly define themselves as the sharpest mind in the room, the one who always have the upper hand. Influenceable, it punctures that internal myth, and the injury feels very humiliating, not just inconvenient. They lose control of the story, so their power comes from shaping how events are interpreted. Once you realize or recognize what's happening, they cannot rewrite reality for you anymore. Losing narrative control feels like losing their voice in the room. They confront, shit, I gotta go pick them up. They confront a deeper fear that without manipulation, they don't know how to secure connection or respect from others. So if all tactics fail, they're left facing the possibility that their personality alone might not hold people in place. And that realization is destabilizing. The reason being is because they're a liar. They're a habitual liar. They don't do what they say they're going to do. They may flip the script. They may try to one-up you behind your back. They may take the coward route and they may talk about you behind your back. They may tend to gossip about you behind your back. They may try to get very close to you just to get insight or intel about you, and then they try to use that as a form of clout to try to get an upper hand or have the upper hand in the situation. Again, there's many different stipulations, many different outcomes in regards to why things happen the way that it happens. But the main realization here, the common denominator here, is that you destabilize this person because this person don't like the fact that you see them exactly how they did not want to see themselves, as a liar. So an example of this would be, let's say you were working with a very narcissistic coworker who used to subtly undermine you in meetings, interrupting you, reframing your ideas, or planting doubts so you'd over explain and lose confidence. Well, you eventually stop reacting to this person. You speak calmly and you present very clearly and let their interruptions hang in the air without defending yourself. Then the room starts noticing the pattern on its own. So let's give an example here. You are in a business setting and you are presenting your, let's say, project or so, or presentation, and you have someone that don't like you because of the light that you carry or the confidence that you exude. So you make sure you do all that you need to do, your homework and all these things, to ensure that you have a successful presentation in front of, let's say, in front of the board. Now, while you are having your presentation or you're explaining yourself during your presentation, you have someone on the sideline, this coworker, narcissistic coworker, they keep interrupting you. Oh, well, and that's not true. Da, da, da. And while you're seeing what they're doing, instead of you arguing with them, instead of you having a rebuttal with them, you kind of become silent and you allow them to do or say what they need to say. And then once they're finished, you're able to continue. And by you doing that here, and this is just one example, of course, but while you're doing that, they tend to get very agitated because the methods that they thought that they can utilize to successfully subdue you in a more so a room space or room setting where there are other people involved, they thought that they would have the upper hand. But what they're doing here is that they're not realizing that they're actually having they're lowering themselves, or they are destabilizing themselves by you not reacting in the way that they want you to react. So it's causing them to make them feel very less than. And people who feel less than, especially in a room where they already feel less than, they're going to prove your point by doing things or acting out things here to prove that they are truly who they say they are, less than, if that makes sense. So they really hang themselves to dry, honestly. So to you, nothing dramatic happened. To them, it feels like their authority evaporated in real time and they can't recover it without exposing themselves farther. And that's what they did. So this is why you've mastered the manipulator. Give me 1 second. Let me get these other cards. Baby. All right. Hold on. Look at these two cards, child. Secretly jealous and hating on your romantic relationship. They'll claim, I did it first, knowing damn well they got inspired by you. So I basically just sum it up. That is funny. Basically summed it up here. So let's go deeper into these cards. They call themselves a master manipulator, but you've mastered the manipulator. Let me repeat that. They call themselves a master manipulator, but you've mastered the manipulator. Two different things, two different outcomes. Secretly jealous and hating on your romantic relationship. This is not going to resonate for everybody, of course. Take what resonates and leave the rest. You could be in a committed relationship or a loving relationship. Take it how it resonates. And this person or a person might be aware that you're in a relationship and they don't like that. The reason they don't like that is because they've never experienced a love or that type of love that you may have between you and another person. It don't even have to be another person. It can simply just be you. But take it how it resonates. But anywho, this person is very, very, very jealous of the connection either between you and another person or just between you and self. And they don't like that because they feel like that they cannot barge or brace themselves or intertwine themselves in between, again, either you and a person or you against you. So now they're in a space here because they can't break you down. They have to prove to other people that they broke you down or that they can break you down. If they can get more people on board successfully with the lies that they're saying about you, they're going to feel admired by those same said individuals that they think and said, or more so perceive, that they are better than you. It's not a matter of being better than anyone else, because you don't think that way and you don't operate in that way. You are the better person because of the work that you're doing for self. You don't have to broadcast that. You don't have to verbally say that. Your energy speaks for you. So you're coming off as better because you're doing better for self. Better plus better equals better, even better than better, if that makes sense. So again, you don't ever have to broadcast or state, oh, I'm better than, I'm better than. You don't have to do that because your energy is speaking for you. Them, on the other hand, here, they have to prove themselves, or they have to prove a validation from other people that they are indeed better than you. And the more that they keep trying to prove that they're better than you, the more they discredit themselves of not being better than you. This is why they're attempting to claim that they did it first. They didn't do anything first. Honestly, you did. You put yourself in first place. You told yourself that you are number one, and you position yourself as number one. You took care of self. You are operating in a form of self-love. You are putting yourself first. You are top priority when it comes to first, if that makes sense. So they see this because they want to emulate, or they want to mimic exactly the same things that you have done. But you can't do that with everybody. Yes, you can be inspired by other people, absolutely. But you can't copy their verbatim blueprint as to how they were able to be successful with their self-love, if that makes sense. Because I may have a small different perception and when it comes to self-love, and you may think of self-love in a different way. And even though we may think slightly different surrounding our self-love, it doesn't make it wrong. This person here feels like there's only one way to do that one thing, or to have that one outcome. So when you completely surpass them based on the small limited perception that they do have, now they have to regain themselves or try to recontrol the narrative of the situation because you're not following their script. This is all that this is about. You're not in there. They don't have control over you because you refuse to follow their script. This is why they're trying to tell people that they did it first. And they did not, because if they did it first, they wouldn't be talking about it. It would have been showing in their actions, if that makes sense. Some people just talk because they have a voice to speak. And sometimes the things that they speak just does not make sense. And we are dealing with individuals of this caliber that truly don't make sense. So why are you fighting with someone, arguing with someone who truly don't make sense? Let them be. Who cares? Okay, whatever. I did that first. I did that first. Okay, who cares? But when you look closely, when you dive deeper surrounding what they so-called did first, and you look at it, you're like, you did what first? It doesn't really show the actions that they stated in regards to what they so-called did first. It doesn't add up. So again, some people just have a voice, and that's all they do. They just talk and talk and talk and talk. But the things that they're saying is nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. And this is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with individuals here of this caliber that truly don't make sense. And by them not making sense, they're digging a bigger hole for themselves because they're the one that's showing people that something is truly off with them. Going back to my notes here. Their tactics stop producing an emotional movement. They're used to pressing certain buttons, watching people spiral, defend, apologize, or chase. Why are you spiraling out of control from someone that doesn't make sense? That's number one. Number two, why are you spiraling out of control, trying to defend a person that's very nonsensical? That's number two. Number three, Why are you trying to apologize to someone that is truly nonsensical in nature? That's number 3. Number 4, why are you chasing after someone that is showing you day after day after day that the things that they say are truly 100% nonsensical? Does that make sense? So since we're able to break it down in that way or that perspective, it makes you think like, yeah, you know what? That make a lot of sense. Why am I getting so out of bounds with self? Why am I getting so irate and so angry with another person, specifically when they're not making sense? Allow them to not make sense, because at the end of it all, when everything is all said and done, they're going to be seen as a person that doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? Man. And then when everything's all said and done, they get mad at you because people now see them as the person who don't make sense. They set a trap for themselves all the time. Hey, y'all. All the cards flying, which tells me that this person is flying off the handle. They're upset, rah, and then the reptile mode, rah, rah. That makes sense. So seek someone to perform. Learn to do a hex breaking ritual. Black obsidian. That's in reverse. Black obsidian is a crystal that helps you to ward off negative energy, but it's in reverse. I don't think this is y'all here. I think this is them. Seek someone to perform, learn to do a hex breaking ritual. So this person feels, hear me out, just hear me out. This person feels like you have done something like a spell. You did some kind of spell work on them, or some kind of like a hexing something. Hear me out, okay? Don't chew me up. I'm just your messenger, all right? But we have black obsidian is in reverse. So this person's protection, damn, has been stripped. Get out of here, spirit. Okay, let's break this down. Now, the reason why this person truly feels that you are doing spell work on them, or you're doing something harmful to them because they lost their protection. How do they lose their protection? By showing people that they're nonsensical. Does that make sense? They were protected at one point in time behind you when you were silent, right? And we're going to spin it in many, many different ways. They were protected by you when you were silent. You didn't say anything. That's one way. The other way here is that even though you are silent, your silence still speaks volumes. And again, they have to overexert themselves. They have to overcompensate themselves to other people that they are speaking sensical things, but they are not. They're speaking nothing but nonsensical things. It is raising a lot of red flags to the individuals or the group of people that they're speaking ill about you too. And they're becoming concerned because now they're realizing specifically of the nonsensical things that narcissist is speaking here is putting them in the space where now they're looking exactly how they did not want people to see them as. Nonsensical. So now in regards to their protection here, they feel you have something to do with that and you did not. They gave themselves up by keep speaking about you, by keep talking about you, by thinking that if they keep you on the radar, utilizing you for clout energetically, that was supposed to break you down, and it did not. Why would lies break you down? Hear me out. Why? It's not true. And they're banking on you to validate the lies that they say as true, and it's not. So you are invalidating them by not confirming that their lies are true. This is why they're losing their protection. Does that make sense? So this person's telling people, the collector put a spell on me. The collective stoic at me. What are you doing? I said, what? What are you doing? They were stripped from their protection because they don't know how to shut the hell up. They don't know how to be quiet. Squawk, squawk, squawk. That's how they sound every goddamn day. Every day. So their own talking of themselves put them in the hot seat, and because they can't take accountability for what they are speaking, they're blaming you. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. They strip themselves of their own protection by speaking up and out of the nonsensical things that they're doing towards you. You've mastered the manipulator. This so-called master manipulator who thought that they were so masterful in manipulating other people. You mastered the manipulator. Their own doings became their undoing. Their own doings of themselves became their own undoing. Mellow 3731 states on YouTube, they fight dirty. Yeah. They slung mud all over themselves, and now people see them as such. Dirty. All they had were dirty and foul words and foul projections and foul nonsensical things. Now people can see clearly, visibly, where the foulness or the stench is coming from them. Their own doings became their undoing. But we're dumb. Oh man, I swear. Tricks the spirit. Sudden loss of memory. Things end up missing. So they are literally losing their mind. They're truly losing their mind because you're not entertaining their nonsensical BS. The trickster got tricked by its own tricks. By you being silent. Damn, collective. God damn it. The trickster got tricked by you remaining silent. And their silence, it deafens them. But I thought we was playing the game here. I thought they was jigsawing this MFer. They wanted to play a silent game with you, and you gave them the same thing back. Silence. And they cannot handle the silence that they gave to you, and you giving it back to them. They can't handle that? Again, what kind of game is this? What kind of game? My God. What kind of game they playing here? Jesus Christ. These people, yes. Make it make sense. What else, Spirit? And you know what? I'm looking at this card here. They claim that they did it first. They did. They destroyed themselves first. They did. They didn't destroy you. They destroyed themselves first. Yes, they did. And they sought out exactly what they were supposed to do. Destroy themselves. Now they're looking like a big fool. A big clown. And they don't like it. Well. This is someone that loves to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But they got to keep proving themselves that they're not the thing that they keep saying that they're not, or more so, they have to prove to other people that they're not the thing that they're saying they're not, but their actions are showing otherwise. I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar, but then proceeds to lie. Proceeds to create a false narrative surrounding lies. I'm not lazy. I'm not lazy, but then prove by their actions, show you by their actions that they're lazy, that they're procrastinator. And I can go on and on and on and on. This is a lost cause. Laughing is great for the soul, y'all. You have to laugh, or find it in your heart to laugh. You ain't gonna get bad karma. How you gonna get bad karma for someone destroying themselves? You ain't touching them. Make it make sense. How are you gonna get bad karma for someone that was coming up against you to give you bad karma, and when they realize the table switched or the table flipped, and now they're in the same karma that they projected out, they're mad at you for laughing at them? Come on. Make it make sense. Oh my God. You've mastered the manipulator. The master manipulator that this manipulator thought that they have mastered, you have mastered the manipulator. And they don't understand how you did it. Amethyst, a psychic protection control spiritual energies while dreaming, and can help with insomnia and nightmares. That was in reverse. So yes, this person's protection has been completely stripped. Damn. And because they don't have protection, spiritual protection, we'll just put it this way, lower level or darker entities or energies are more, what's the word? Are able to successfully connect or attach to them much quicker or much more in a successful manner. The reason being is because there's no spiritual protection to protect them from these lower bodied entities. It's like they open up themselves to these attacks, and lower vibrational entities love individuals that are not high vibrational. They love individuals, yes, susceptible. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Thank you so much, Leandra. They're more susceptible to be connected to these lower vibing energies. That's why the trickster spirit is here, because they're the ones that were playing with different spirits. They wanted to trick you. They came off as a trickster spirit, to be honest. And they thought that their tricks were much more further ahead of time, or much more further ahead of you. And that's not the case. The silence is golden, because the gold is where you find the information or the message within your silence. That's why silence is golden. For them, they thought and assumed that if they were silent with you, that you would not receive the messages, or you would not see what was going on. You still did. The silence from their perception were the subtleties that you needed to see to receive the further messages, or the deeper messages and insight in regards to how they were trying to subdue you. Does that make sense? So when a person feels and truly thinks that they could be out here causing harm and wreaking havoc towards innocent people, they can't. Life is subtle. Yes. Pay attention to the messages surrounding the subtleties of life. An example, let's say you're growing, right, in height, in inches, right? You can't see it, but there needs to be a point A to a point B in order for you to see the differentiation between point A and point B. Just think of you at like maybe 10 years old. You're at a certain height. But when you're 11, you took a picture of you, of your 10-year-old self. And let's say you was at like 4'11". This is just an example. 10 years old for 4 feet 11 inches. Now you're 11 years old and now you have a growth spurt, but you can't see it verbatim because those things are very subtle. Everything around you is subtle, even your growth. This is why the signs are there to help you to understand, aha, that makes sense. If that makes sense, so now that you're your 11-year-old self, and now you had a growth spurt. Now you're 5'2". Again, this is just an example, and you take a picture. So now you have two comparisons, and you're able to compare from point A now to point B, and you're realizing the clear subtleties or the clear messages or the clear signs between point A and point B that something has shifted. Does that make sense? So in regards to them being silent or playing a silent game, that was point A. They did something to create a point B, and now you have two comparisons or two pattern styles where now you can sit down and be like, okay, that don't make sense. That makes sense. And now you're seeing the changes or the effects that they have created, and this is what helped you to successfully see and destroy the silent mental game that they wanted to play with you. Does that make sense? Hi, thank you, boo. Does that make sense? And let me know. Remote viewing, looking into your life with their mind. That's why some of y'all would say, somebody's doing something towards me, but you couldn't prove it verbatim. But you were utilizing your your intuition, your discernment, or your clairs, claircognizance, clairsentience, your clairvoyance, things of that nature. You were using your spiritual gifts. Those were the signs. Your spiritual gifts were giving you a lot of signs that something subtle was going on. Remote viewing, looking into your life with their mind. You couldn't prove it at the time because they were doing it silently. Does that make sense? That's why when you spoke up at the time that you spoke up, people thought that something was off or something was weird with you, and nothing wasn't. They used that to their advantage to continue to keep you tethered to the silent game that they were playing with you. That's why you got to pay attention to the subtleties of life. There are messages, symbols, and signs around you surrounding the subtleties of life. I hope that makes sense. So despite them doing this, remote viewing you, something shifted within your perception, your awareness, or the pattern that they kept exhibiting to you, and you were able to destroy it. And this is what they don't like. So because you destroyed, now they're opening up. Now they're speaking up, and these are people that probably wouldn't maybe have spoke as much as they did. They would have spoke, but not outspoken as much as they are now because it was silent. And every time you spoke up, oh, the collective was crazy and they insane. They don't know what they're talking about. And they ate that up. They love that. But when you were able to pierce through or to break or destroy their mental games or their silent mental games, it put them in a position where they now started to sound like a broken record. And they kept talking about you and talking about, they went into overdrive. And the reason why they went into overdrive is because they have to prove not only to themselves, but they have to prove to other people that you were the issue and you were not. They were. You broke the silence, literally, figuratively, spiritually. You broke the silent game. You pierced through the silent illusion. You destroyed the silent game. Does that make sense? This is how narcissistic people stay ahead of the curve or stay ahead of the game. By playing a silent game with you, however that resonates. That's why they try to aim for the psychological state or the mental state, because people can't see within the psyche or within the mental space. This is why some psychics and tarot and oracle and things of that nature get a bad name, because if they can't see it If they don't have physical, concrete evidence, it doesn't make sense or it's not true. But that's not the case. You've never heard a tree grow, have you? You may have seen it in its two elements or its 2 points, point A to point B, but you have not physically sat down and watched a tree grow. You can't. The same with a flower. You have not physically sat down and watched a flower grow. 1 minute, the rose will be closed, and then the next day you go outside, it's completely open and bloom. If that makes sense, subtleties. Narcissistic fools play on subtleties. They work with subtleties. Does that make sense? Pay attention to the subtleties of life. Even a puppy remains a puppy for, let's say, 4 weeks or 8 weeks. Again, just an example. But as you take picture from when the puppy was 4 weeks, now the puppy is 8 weeks, you're seeing the signs of the subtleties grow. This is how you're able to successfully see the patterns surrounding point A to point B. Does that make sense? That's why they like silence and silent games, to make you look crazy, but you're not. Again, you're not as smart as they claim to be. Trust me on that. They constantly convince people that they are this and that. They're not just explaining to you. They're not just explaining to you. My God. They constantly convince people that they are this and that. What are they? What is this and that when it comes to a narcissist? One more. I want some ice cream. Now we have unexplained body welts, bruises, and scratches. So this could be more so of a spiritual thing here. Unexplained body welts, bruises, and scratches here. Yeah, because they're not spiritually protected and they're opening up themselves to attacks. So there are lower vibrational entities or energies that are attaching to them, or while they're sleeping, they're waking up and they have all these scratches that they can't account for. Where is it coming from? And the first thing they're saying is that you are doing it, and you're not. You ain't got time for this person, ew. You truly don't. But because you broke the silent game that they were playing with you, now everything is out in the open. They can't stop talking. And the collective did this, and the collective did that, and the collective, 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 yeah, You broke the barrier of the silent game. It's like a dam, okay? The dam is created to keep the water in. And the moment that the dam is broken or ruptured, all that pressure that's behind the dam is now going to come out. That's what's happening here. Silence is really not silent if you're able to look at it from that perspective. Yes, silence is golden because that's where you receive all the answers, or you can potentially receive the answers or messages to things. But they thought their silence in the way was to successfully subdue you because no one would believe you. And that's not true. Look at you now versus before. Look at them then versus now. The tables have turned. They can't stand silence. They can't stand your silence. They were benefiting off of you to be that. And it failed. Big time. Tell me about it. Good morning. Tell me about secretly jealous. Secretly jealous. Tell me about that. Secretly jealous. Say mind control. I'm not making it up. Mind control is in reverse. My God. It says secretly jealous and hating on your romantic relationship. They could not control the outcome of your circumstances, your relationship of self, or with another person. Take it how it resonates. So because they could not control that silently within their mind, they start speaking about it publicly. They started speaking about the things that that was hitting within their mind. Oh, and the collective think they're all that, and the collective think that they in a new relationship, they can't talk to me anymore. Like, these are the things that they had in their mind that was silent at one point in time, because you were at one point in time playing into the game, but because you're not playing into the game anymore, their silence was broken. Does that make sense? So now you're just sitting back, you're like, oh, that's how you really feel, huh, Heifer? Tell me more. Oh, okay, what else you got? Oh, okay, yeah, dang, that's how you truly feel. All right, go ahead. Now they're spiraling out of control because they don't have control over you. The silent game was a mind control game that they thought or assumed that they had over you, and they did not. They never did. Yes, the goddess of love states, broken by their own silence. Yes. Y'all getting it? Yes. Yes. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. They played a silent game with you, but they broke their own silence. I swear. But they call us dumb. Oh, man. So it is a man-made disaster. It is. That they created. My God, an insane person calling you crazy. What's your name? The abnormal chosen one states on Instagram, they call me crazy for a reason because they're crazy. They're projecting onto you. That's why they called you crazy, because they wanted you to feel like them. Hell nah. So it's a man-made disaster, of course. Man-made, they made it. They were the man or woman, take it how it resonates. They made the disaster of self, of themselves, and now they trying to blame you. What kind of mess is that? Because they spinning out of control because they never had it in the first place. That's why they're spinning out of control. Does that make sense? They're spinning out of control because they never had control in the first place. The mind is in reverse. The mind is crazy. The mind is deranged. The mind is upsetting. Their mind, not yours. You're not out here doing all this crazy stuff towards people. They are. So when you broke the facade of them not having any control, the true parts, the truest parts that make them them, that identifies them as them, is them not having control of their mind. That's why it's a man-made disaster. Talk about something they did it first. They damn sure did it first. They destroyed themselves first before they destroyed you. Yes, that is the truth. Yes, I did it first. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They destroyed themselves first before they destroyed you. Yes, they did. Believe them. They did. Uh, I'm being so real with you. Like when I see like in this day and age, when I see a narcissist person, I just laugh. Sometimes I may heckle them. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm just looking at them like, bro, you have no idea. Like, this is not the type of smoke you want. You know, like you literally just put them in front of them in themselves. You show them who they are, and they're like, ah, I don't like how I look. Oh my God, people can see me as that, and like that kind of way. It's funny. It is so funny, man. Ah. Respect a narcissist? Child, please. I would never. They don't even respect themselves. Why in the hell will I respect them? Child, please. All right, let's see what else. They constantly convince people that they're this and that, which is what? They constantly convince people that they're this and that, which is what? Which is what? Which is what? Beach in love. Ah. They constantly have to prove to people that they're this and that. Oh, I love people, and I respect people, and I would never do that to people, and I would this and that. They have to prove that they are loved. When do you ever have to prove love? This is love. This is love in its essence. Look how beautiful these roses are. This is love in its essence. And this don't have to prove anything to me. I'm just looking at it and seeing in all its essence. I'm like, wow. Without having to prove anything. It's just right here in our face. And the first thing you see is the elegance and the opulence of the vibration or the vibrancy of the love that these flowers give us. That makes sense? So the beach is also here. The beach is more so in regards to things being washed away or washed ashore, however it resonates. So it's a tide, a high tide, low tide. They have to keep this and that, low tide, high tide, low tide, high tide. I got to prove to you that I love people. Oh, no, but I don't. Oh, I got to prove to you that I care about people, but their actions show differently. Oh, I got to prove to them that I'm the truth, but their actions show differently. So yes, they constantly convince people that they are this and that. And I promise you, it's not love. It's not patience. It's not respect. It's not any of those things. It's not. That's why they keep having to prove or convince people that they are this and that. And they're not any of the things that they keep having to convince people that they are. Does that make sense? If you are love is going to show in your actions. You don't ever have to say anything. It's going to show. Your energy is going to speak for you. Your energy is silent too, believe it or not. Your energy gives off subtleties as well, believe it or not. Some people can just know right off the bat by you not speaking and you just showing up. And they're like, dang, yeah, that's a good person. I have a good feeling about this person. Your energy is speaking for you subtly. That's a sign. Pay attention to the subtleties of life. Pay attention to the signs of the subtleties that surround you. That makes sense. Tell me the black obsidian. Black obsidian in reverse, no protection. We have affair and then travel. Black obsidian is in reverse. So no protection. Travel is in reverse. So this is a spiritual thing. Oh, okay. So they cannot travel to you. They can't astral project to you. They can't look into your, like pry into your energetic space. They cannot connect to you energetically. This is what this means. And a strong proof of that, you feel very light, light-hearted, light-spirited. You don't feel heavy. You don't feel boggled down. You feel light and airy. Your mind may feel very clear as well. So this is a strong sign. If you were one that were experiencing like psychic attacks, things of that nature, you're not experiencing that anymore, or you're soon to not experience that anymore, because this person don't have any protection. And thank you, a person that tends to travel in the spiritual world. So let me just give a little, yeah. You must protect yourself if you decide to travel in the spiritual world. Some people do it for whatever reason they do it for. But that spiritual world, you think this 3D world is rough, baby. That spiritual world ain't nothing to play with. So don't go over there playing if you don't know what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. But anywho, so they've been trying to astral project to you, but they were able at one point in time to veil or cloak themselves. But because they don't have the protection of whatever protection that they had, they don't have it anymore. They're getting caught up with the welts and scratches. Let me drink some water. They're getting caught up with the welts and scratches every time they try to astral project into your space. Some of you guys experience like astral sex, or they were astrally graping you and they thought it was funny. That's where the affair comes in. So they were taken from you energetically in the astrals and they thought it was funny. But if they keep this up, a couple things can happen. They can actually get stuck in the astrals. That's a real thing. Or an entity may attach to them, an entity of pre-deletion. If you, okay, you see that word? I can't put a S. Put the S behind it, and you got that word. Put an S behind it, okay? So if they continue with this, they're going to delete themselves. They have no idea what they're doing, but hey, let people do what they gotta do, child. Okay? Let them do what they gotta do. But it's not looking good. So let's see what's going on with the hex breaking ritual, because now they think you put a hex on them and you did not. What's going on with this hex? Why are they saying the collective put a hex on them? Why are they saying it? Family. What? Family? Family say this? So if you disconnected from a family dynamic here, a family dynamic could feel cursed. Wow. And they feel it's your fault. Or this could be a friend as well too, a co-worker, best friend, take it how it resonates. You may have family, or you may have a certain type of family that they've always wanted and they could not get. So again, it could be your actual family that you disconnected from. It could also be maybe you started off, you branched off and you had your own family with your own child or children. You don't even have to have kids, but maybe you are in a new relationship, but it's more healthy, very committed, you know what I mean? Very honest relationship. So again, it could be spun in many different ways. Whatever you consider as family, but is very healthy. That's the issue with them. They don't like the family that you have currently. So again, it could be just you. You could be your own family. It could be you with a child or children. It could be you with a new lover, a new connection. Again, however it resonates, okay? But however way you see family is very healthy. How they see family or how they've experienced family was very detrimental or very chaotic. And yes, you may have experienced that as well too, but you you shifted the dynamic in regards to how you want family to be perceived as and such, which is very healthy, respectable, fulfilled with love, patience, care, nurturing, things of that nature. So yeah, whoever this is here, they feel like either you put a hex on the family that you left behind, or they feel that their family bloodline is hexed. So let me dive deeper. All right, what else surrounding that? Because that was like a mouthful. What else surrounding this hexing family? Water. You could be a water sign. They could be a water sign. That they think is doing this. That's number one. And then number two, they could be submerged underwater. So think of like Atlantis. Atlantis was an old civilization that was actually alive at one point in time, but something happened, you know, in the cosmos, things that nature. And that civilization is no longer with us. It's underwater or submerged underwater. So I feel that could be it as well too. They feel their family dynamic is submerged underwater, or the bloodline of this toxic family that you disconnected from is submerged underwater. So again, take it how it resonates. Yeah, because of greed. Yes. Yeah. Hey, baby, they better give you, they better return what's owed to you. Hey, fair exchange ain't no robbery. Hey, they better return what's owed to you. They owe you a lot. They owe you a lot energetically. And if they don't give it back, baby, they gonna be submarining in that motherfucker. I'm telling you, the bloodline gonna be submarine, and they're gonna have to learn how to swim. They're gonna have to learn how to live underwater, baby, literally and figuratively. They like the aquatic life so much, right? They like to put you in your emotions. They like to drown you in your emotions. But now that the tables have turned, hey, baby, they don't like it. They don't like it. Tell me about the trickster spirit. Oh, baby, you mastered the manipulator. Ain't that something? Look at you, collector. Let me get you some flowers. Flowers, 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 flowers. Look at you, collective. Okay, now let me take a look at you. Hold on. Like a proud auntie. Yeah, let me sit back a little bit and watch the collective. Yeah, look at you. I'm so proud of you. Look at y'all doing the work out here. Okay, I see y'all. I know that's right. Period. Period. Clock it. Period. Let's see. What's going on with this trickster spirit, child? Trickster spirit, trickster spirit, trickster spirit. That's too much. Okay, I'll take that. The trickster spirit. Here's the trickster spirit, right? Lies, abuse, and neglect. They're lies. They abuse themselves with lies. Now they're in a neglectful state that they can't get out of. So the trickster spirit tricked themselves. Oh God. Yes. The trickster spirit tricked themselves. My God. But they call us dumb. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it. Because ain't no way they calling the collective dumb and they're doing assery and this magnitude. This is the finerest of finery of assery. Yes. This is pure assery. For sure. My God. Pure ignorance of assery. What's this amethyst? We got hidden here. Yeah. Hidden in amethyst. They don't have any protection. They don't. Their protection has been stripped from them or has been hidden from them. Their protection. They don't know how to get it back. Remote viewing, looking into their life with their mind. Okay, what's that about? They regret doing that. They regret doing it. Yeah, they're it's like I dream a genie head ass. They swore they was genie. They remember I dream a genie. Yeah, she was like, boom. Get the hell out of here, child. That's what they thought they was. Oh, these narcissists got me in tears. Oh, poor Tink Tinks. They so simple, child. They are so simple. I swear, they're reduced to simpleton, the simple of the simplest of all. I swear to you. They so damn simple, child. My goodness. What's this unexplained body welts and bruises, child? They trapped. The neighborhood is self. The neighborhood, the hood of selves, they're trapped. They have many parts of self that's trapped. So they have mental states that's trapped. That's the neighborhood. They have maybe a personality disorder. They may have bipolar. They may have schizophrenia. They may have other mental issues. There are many different types of compartments within themselves, the neighboring parts of self that feels trapped. This is why they feel they have unexplained body welts and scratches. I can't get out my head. What's going on? The collector put a spell on me. The collector's projecting onto me. The collector, da da da, da da da. And like I said, you ain't doing anything to this person here. So people are seeing this person as the fraud that they are. Yes. Yes. Yeah. They are a fraud to themselves. They defrauded themselves. Ain't that something? They defrauded themselves. They defrauded themselves. They feel stripped of their psychological advantage. They depend on reading others while remaining unreadable themselves, but they're very readable by the subtleties that they give to you. When you see the pattern and stay ready, they lose their hidden vantage point. What was the hidden vantage point? Silence. That was the hidden vantage point. But in their silence gave you subtleties. It gave you messages. It gave you signs. It did. So that feels like someone pulled the curtain back on their whole strategy. And you did. And you have every right to. Well, okay, I'll talk about it. So Mina doing big things mentions on Instagram. Don't really even think a psychologist can even help them at this point. And you guys know I'm in school to get my PhD in psychoanalyst, and I'm currently in this class. And honestly, I do not like the class. I don't. I'm very open to the many different possibilities and the perception of others. And that school specifically deals with narcissism. And it's just that the things that they're saying to me doesn't make sense. Like they're on the spectrum or on the side of assisting and helping narcissistic individuals, which is fine. But the different types of things and say tools and tactics that they're utilizing to help them, to me, it just doesn't make sense. So I'll get more information, of course, then I'll disseminate it with you guys. But in that class, I don't feel the things that they're exhibiting or showing is, I just feel like that there could be a lot more. Like if they're going to help narcissistic individuals, I feel like that there's a lot more that they can do and they don't do it. So that's where I'm like, yeah, I don't really. But like I said, yeah, I had class last night and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's still up in the air. So I'm not telling you what school I go to. Why would I tell you that? That's too much business. I ain't telling you I'm in school. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know what school I go to. Hell nah. I ain't telling you that. Mm-mm. Because people are wicked. I ain't saying you wicked, but people are wicked out here. Then you calling up to the school? Nah, hell nah. Nah. You don't need to know that. You gonna know when I graduate. That's it. Shit. Yes, their victims need help too. Nasta states on TikTok, I don't consider you guys victims. I consider you guys victors. And that's the side I'm on. I'm on the side to help individuals that have went through a lot of traumatic abuse surrounding narcissism. That's the side I'm on. But like I said, there's many different points of views, and yeah, so. All right, let's see what else. Humiliation and external influence. Yeah, their internal influence influenced them externally. The mind chatter that they could not keep silent finally exposed itself externally and humiliated themselves. That's what happened. Yeah. Uh-huh. And because now they're humiliated by themselves, now they want to play victim, but they can't. They play. Man, these people playing. I just can't. They place themselves in a position to put themselves in a bind. Now they want to call for help. Now they want to play victim. And they put themselves in that victim role. Huh. Make it make sense. Yeah, expectation was not what they expected, or they were expecting a certain type of expectation. And the expectation that they were expecting was you being humiliated into a space, victim, but more so a permanent victim of their silent games. That's what they wanted. Because who's going to believe you if there's no proof? See the despair? If it's a mental silent game, who's going to believe the collective? Now look at you, or soon. Again, looks can be, no. Seeing is believing. And they needed people, or they proved, or they live under the assumption that if they can't see it, you cannot believe it. That's their MO. No one will believe you. Yeah, you're crazy. Yep, you're this, you're that. And of course, that's not true. But again, for them, seeing is believing. And if you can't see the silent mental games, they think they have you. And they don't. That's why I'm here. To rattle cages in this MFA. Because y'all going to be free. You're going to be free to be authentic. You're going to be free to be successful. You're going to be free to thrive. You're going to be free to be happy. You're going to be free to be healthy. You're going to be free to do whatever you tend your big ass heart to do. You're going to be free to fulfill your purpose. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. You are here to thrive, not survive. You are here to thrive and not survive. So if they think that we can't see them a mile away, think again, boo. Think of me like the big artillery, the big, the big machine pew pew coming along, be like, oh, let me call a doctor real quick. What's up? You need help with this narcissist? Boop, 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 boop. Ah! Now they shrinking. Yeah. Put their ass right here. Right here. Put them right here. We don't give a damn. Shit. Family room is here. Family room is where the secrets are being held anyways. So now all their secrets are exposed. Now everyone sees that they're in despair. Checkmate. Checkmate. Always remember, this is collectively, generally speaking. When a person think that they are the smartest person in the room, think again. There's always another person that might be slightly more intelligent or slightly more aware than that person who thinks that they're the smartest in the room. And baby, they're not the smartest in the room. Shit, they not smart at all. Okay, so that's all I got to say. Where my dice at? That's all I got to say about that. We have Pisces. You could be a Pisces. They could be a Pisces. However resonates. We have Leo. You could be a Leo. They could be a Leo. We have Virgo. You could be a Virgo. They could be a Virgo. Virgo again. Okay. So you could be a Virgo. They could be a Virgo. They could be very methodical, very deep, trying to one-up you. Child, please. We have Libra. You could be a Libra. They could be a Libra. We have Gemini. You could be a Gemini. They could be a Gemini. Take it how it resonates. We have Scorpio. You could be a Scorpio. They could be a Scorpio. Okay. Cancer. You could be a Cancer. They could be a Cancer. However it resonates. We have Scorpio. You could be Scorpio. They could be Scorpio. We have Capricorn. Virgo, strong Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury energy, okay? Check your birth chart to see where your signs are aligned in your placements of your houses to get a better, more understanding as to the blueprint, as to who you are. And yeah, that's that. So once again, I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's live. It was a really hoot and a great treat. I really enjoyed this reading today. I just want you guys to understand that, again, y'all have big shoes to fill. You truly do. I need for you guys to understand that. I need for you guys to stop playing yourself so small. Stop playing small and do the damn thing. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to be very authentic, because, I mean, hey, you're going to see when you step outside that small little box, that small little comfort zone, you were like, dang, this make a lot of sense. And I want to make sure that it makes sense. I want it to make sense for you to understand that you are worthy, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, that you can be successful, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. You know, you're here to fulfill that need, to fulfill that purpose, whatever that purpose is. And you have an ally here. I'm on your side. All right. I wish y'all nothing but the best. Greatness in everything that you do. I hope that you get everything that you've ever desired. I wish you happiness. I wish you peace. And this is Divine Collective. Let me make that clear. This is for the Divine Collective, not no damn narcissist karmic heifer. I don't give a damn about no karmic heifer. I care about the collective. Okay, so go out there, be great. Go out there and thrive. Do not survive anymore, okay? Go out there and thrive. You owe that to yourself. If you would like to join us in the Facebook group, Wisdom Beyond Wounds, that group is a self-paced group where I post questions surrounding shadow work. So if you're wanting to dive deeper into your shadows, it's going to help you to see you, truly who you are. You're breaking down and chiseling all the old parts of you so you can get a deeper understanding in regards to who you are. Wisdom Beyond Wounds, that's on Facebook. If you would like to grab the book, it is on Amazon. Okay, Wisdom Beyond Wounds book is on Amazon. Okay, just type in Wisdom Beyond Wounds and you will see that. If you would like to join us on the workshop, March 8th to March 29th, the enrollment is still open. Definitely go ahead and get signed up and we're going to get started, all right? This is a movement that I am creating here, and it is time for people to awaken. It is time for people to succeed. It is time for people to fulfill your purpose. And yeah, that's all I got to say. All right. I love you guys. Take care. Go out there. Be great. See you on the next one. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Love, 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 love.